Hey, what's going on, guys? We're going to go over an exercise to target a muscle called your tibialis posterior. It's the deepest muscle in the back or posterior part of your leg underneath your shin. Fast forward to, I don't know, later in the video for just the exercise. But first, let's actually talk about shin splints real quick. When evaluating or dealing with things like shin splints, we are looking at, baseline strength of key muscles in your lower leg. Yeah, we want to look at things like running form or things like that. But I think the number one thing, if you're dealing with shin splints, that we have to really start to look at first is things like training volume and training intensity. So these things are going to come on, with a spike of, I doubled my mileage last week, or, I started doing HIIT training. I'd never done that before, and I just really hit the ground running, and not allowing ourselves to recover enough. Other things to look at are footwear. And of course, like I said earlier, things like running form and then baseline strength. I have a personal experience with shin splints, and I was a sprinter and a hurdler when I was younger, and through high school, like especially my junior, senior year, I struggled with shin splints a lot. And it was always at the end of the season. I felt good at the beginning of the season. So of course, I probably could have improved some of my running form, but now that I look back on it, we ran in our track spikes every single day on a very firm track surface that we had at my high school. That was probably the big thing. And that's why towards the end of the season, my legs had broken down, which is also why I ran out of gas towards state. I didn't have the same explosiveness that I had earlier in the season. So enough about me, let's get into the actual exercise. Here's how I have this set up. There are a lot of ways to target this specific muscle. This is one of the better isolated techniques that you can use. So we're going to work on internal rotation of our tibia, so it's kind of like our knee and our ankle, and then also inversion of the foot and the ankle, and that's what the posterior tib really specializes in. And so I've got a weight anchored up here, and I'm going to take the band, get it to a decent tension, right to there. And you're shooting for like around 45 degrees of band angle. Now this is probably a little bit more steep, doesn't matter. So if you can get to 45 degrees, great. If you just have the weight laying on the floor, that's fine too. So what we do is I'm gonna sit still, and I will actually use something like a yoga block or really anything in between the knees just to keep my knees still so I'm not shifting around. And I'm keeping my heel down, and what I'm gonna do is just rotate in as far as I can go, and then all the way back slowly. Rotate in, as far as I can go. And this is where really kind of a lot of the magic happens. So as soon as you hit that barrier and you're like, I don't know, I can't really go that much further, I want you to try to go a little bit further. Just even like a microcosm of a degree, if that's even a real thing. If you can get that little bit more, that really helps get to that contraction there. As you get all the way to here, it's okay to let the inner part of the foot raise up a bit. That's inversion. That's really targeting through here, and then back. So I'm squeezing into the block just a bit, load into this, and then slowly on the way back. This is more of a isolation or a baseline activation drill. So I will shoot for around maybe, 25, 30 reps. I can say right now, the resistance that I have, I need a little bit more. So I might double up the band, add a different band, whatever. So that's it. So we just go all the way in as far as we can, and then all the way out. You should feel this along the inner part of the ankle, inner leg, shin area there. All the way in. So I might do 3 sets or so of this, and then I back it off. Again, like a lot of these type of drills, these can be great warm-ups, they could be cool downs, they could just be things that you do on an off day. But like I said earlier in the video, if you are dealing with something like shin splints, evaluate the, what we'll say low-hanging fruit first. So that could be, training volume, what you're running on, like the surface, your shoes, the amount of recovery that you give yourself, and then as well as looking at baseline strength and or running form. So if you got any questions, give me a holler. If not, I'll see you on the next video.